You are never alone. You are never alone. Just reach into your heart and Allah is always there. You are never alone. You are never alone. Through sorrow and through grief, through happiness and peace, you are never alone.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to a new episode of your program, Family Issues. And as usual, I'm your host in this program. I'm interested so much and I'll be so happy to speak with you or to negotiate with you any topic related to family issues, to problems, or to suggestions that might help to increase the efficiency or the life quality of every member in the family. Remember, or to remind you, last episode we were speaking about a very important process in the life of a human being and the life of every member in the family. The kids, the husband, the wife, everyone. It's the process of eating, or this experience which is well known to everyone that it's a biological process. However, we are looking in this program through the social or the psychological dimension of every process. In addition, of course, to the biological one. Please never hesitate actually to call us, to, as I said, to join us in any comment you want to say or any suggestion or any question. Our telephone, by the way, is 002 3835 248 or 249. As I said, our goal is to increase the efficiency of the family relations and accordingly to increase the efficiency of the whole community in turn. And of course, any parent who wants to prevent potential problems in order not to make them or not to make his kids fall in these problems, he should anticipate what are the risks around them and to plan or to put a policy in order to face such types of problems. Therefore, if we remember from the last episode, we spoke about so many aspects, psychological and behavioral aspects, as we today are going also tonight to speak about such aspects, but from new aspects, specifically when you know that we are having an eminent guest with us from another dimension, speaking about so important points or issues about the habits of eating and how to teach your child to eat in a good way. I remind you, by the way, that storytelling and the setting, the whole setting, I remind you, the whole setting of eating, the furniture, the atmosphere, the lighting, the aeration, the smell, the sounds around you, all this affects the child. And therefore, we are not astonished to find that children in so many franchise restaurants go to food as if they didn't eat before, in contrast to their behavior at homes. When they see, as I said in the last episode, the Happy Meal box and the colorful print materials and the toys and the way freshly these foods are prepared and the music around them and other kids are present here and there and the play areas and his mother and the mother and the father are present, I think it looks like as if it is paradise for the child. So why not he doesn't eat? All what you have to do is to get your child hungry and let him eat anything he wants or he doesn't want. He's going to eat it. They are believing that food is psychology. Food is psychology and not what you eat, but how it is presented and how you eat it. By the way, also I want to remind you with a very important issue. I think our guest today has a very important part in this to tell us, which is what's called GM foods, or the genetically modified foods. What's this issue, GM foods? As we've heard, and I read so many topics and articles speaking about the dangers of these artificial processes that some foods or some products are passing through in order to reach us in this delicious way or this attractive way. I heard about a book. One book was written in the States, and the editor, they are looking for her now. The police are looking for her because so many restaurants names were written in these books under the color red. These are red because they are full of genetically modified foods. And the ratings of these foods as regards the contents of, because some people say that these genetically modified foods are dangerous to health and they may predispose to some dangerous, not just organic diseases, but maybe also mental or psychological or nervous diseases. And therefore they were rated under green, amber, and red colors, the danger ones. Of course, when we speak about food also, we have to remember what's called the psychosomatic signs of being tensed or being in tension. Children who are living in disturbed families or living in stressful conditions usually manifest these their feelings or their fears through astonishingly what's called GIT symptoms or gastrointestinal symptoms. In other words, like anything that happens in the mouth or in the stomach or in the intestine in the form of vomiting or nausea or colics or nervous colon or distension of the abdomen, so many of the medical signs. And when you examine these children medically, you're going to find them free of medical causes, free of organic causes. Stool analysis is normal, stool culture is normal. If you make X-rays, if you make MRIs, if you make whatever you want to make from investigations to investigate every micro information about this problem, you are going to find that all the results are nil, everything is normal and free. In this case, you have to think of psychological stress, and of course, rapidly you have to study the family conditions or the conditions surrounding the child in the family or in the school or in the club or in the mosque or in the church or whatever surrounds the child from conditions is going to affect his psychology. As I told last time that if you want to build the self-confidence of a child, this may start from the dish, the rice dish. And I said one example of that is when you know that your child cannot finish more than 2 spoons of rice. So there is a multiple choice question here is, would you put for him in the dish 1 or 2 or 3 spoons of rice? When I said this in one of the settings, most of the parents, they were so generous, they said, most of them, 3 spoons. You know, remind you, you know that the child cannot eat more, his stomach is not going to be able to take more than 2 spoons. But unfortunately, in spite of this information to the parents, all of them said 3 spoons. 2 of the audience said 2 spoons, and 1 of them said 1 spoon. And I told the one who said the 1 spoon, you are the right one. Because if you did this, of course, the child is going to finish this spoon or to eat it. And in this case, you are going to tell him, wow, you're marvelous. You don't tell me that you can finish another one. He's going to say, of course I can. Give me another spoon. When you give him this one, you are going to repeat the same encouraging phrase, wow, I'm astonished. You are marvelous. You could finish 2 spoons. He can say, I may finish more and more. Now, you are not just giving him food. You are building his personality. You are building his self-confidence. But unfortunately, most of the people do the opposite. They put amounts of rice in the dish that maybe their fathers cannot finish. And every time, of course, the child is not going to finish this amount, this whole amount, and you are going to tell him, as usual, you do not finish anything, even the food you eat. And this adds to the sense of failure and sense of inferiority to the child more and more. And this, of course, is not for the benefit of the self-confidence or self-esteem of your child. Storytelling is very important, and you can use cards in the young age, because every day you find quarrels and fights between mothers and children all over the world about on the table of feeding them. Eat this, you try to force the food inside his mouth as if you are in a wrestling match. But as we have said, food is psychology. If there's music or if there's Quran or there's something that makes the nerves of the child at ease, calms him, this is going, and everyone, not just the child. As I've said the last time also, the wife can prepare, or the husband can prepare for his wife a good sitting, making candles with low lights and good smell in the room, and maybe very low sound Quran at the background, or some sort of anything that makes food a process that is a silent or a peaceful process is going to be very helpful. Well, I'll tell you about the cards now, but just after we finish the break, because we are going to have our eminent guest together today, Dr. Adil Zeezi. Let's go to the we are going to have now a break and then come back. Thank you.
You are never alone. You are never alone.
In this program, inshallah, we'll be discussing the major sins in Islam, the way that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had taught us. Why the neighbor does not care about their neighbor anymore? Why does the father does not care about the son anymore? Why does the mother does not care about her daughter anymore? There's major sins that we need to be very far away in our lives, so we could get the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obtain the pleasure of Allah azza wa jal. As long as we commit those major sins, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not be too pleased from us, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish those who commit those major sins. Keep away from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had forbidden, and you'll be the closest worshipper to Allah azza wa jal. It is our duty for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep away from what Allah azza wa jal had forbidden, as when we commit those sins, especially those major sins, remember you are displeasing your Lord, and you are bringing upon the curse and the anger of your Lord upon you.
Why righteous companions? It is Islam that given us the sense of dignity. I love all of them in a way that you cannot imagine. That Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu would say something and the Quran would come down matching what he said. والسابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم بإحسان رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه. Just compare what you did for Islam with just one of them.
Dear viewers, Hoda programs can be watched in the English section of the in-flight entertainment directory on board all Saudi airline flights, domestic and international. Sit back, relax and enjoy watching Hoda's entertaining and enlightening shows on your trip. Hoda wishes you a safe and successful journey. Hoda, a light in every home.
You are never alone. You are never alone.
Welcome back. This is the second segment of our episode today in Family Issues. As I told you, I want you to join us and to be cooperative with us with your comments or your questions and emails too. Our telephone number is 002023835 248 or 249. Let me first welcome with you our eminent guest, Dr. Adil Zeezi, the communication and training consultant, who is famous, of course, for consultation and training for so many of the, I think, human development domains.
Yes.
Isn't it true?
Thank you. Yes, exactly. Thank you very much.
You are more than welcome, and we are proud to have you with us today in Family Issues, and specifically in this very special type of issues, which is the feeding process. And I know that you have your own courses and your own ways of, or techniques of letting children acquire good habits in eating and affecting their behaviors in a smooth way, not in a complicated one. Yes. I think this is our main problem in so many of the, let us say, in the middle, not at least in the Middle East countries, mothers and parents. Okay. So can we speak about this?
Yes, yes. Yeah. First, actually, I would like to mention something very important, specifically for Muslims.
Yeah.
our children need to remember always that food is a gift from God.
Food is a gift
Yes,
from God.
yes, this is very important.
Yeah.
And the supplication before the meal is very
Yeah.
important. We need
Yes.
always to remember
Yeah.
and to ask God to sustain this gift. This
Yes.
is very important. We are not dealing with food like other cultures.
Yes,
and other,
yes. You, Dr. Adi, reminded me really with the foreign series all the time. They hold their hands and say supplications, some things like this. before food. I
Yes,
see this.
they call it praying actually.
Praying.
Yeah, but we are as Muslims, we should supplicate for the God before the meal.
Yeah,
There is a lot of phrases that can be said,
really.
but the main thing is we ask God to sustain this gift and protect it from disappearing.
Because we do not guarantee. Yes,
Exactly,
Yes. Yes.
exactly. And
Yes.
after the meal, we say thanks God,
Thanks God.
for that. This is very important, because this is something that should eating meal is not a
biological process. That's it.
Exactly, not a materialism things or no.
It's not like this.
No. And it is a very good occasion where family members get together.
Yeah.
Okay, when they get together, actually, we parents need to remember that they should show love to their kids.
How come this? How
This
can
is
we do this?
this is a very good question, and this is very easy actually. Smile is very good paying off.
Okay.
Giving a very positive comments like good boy, good girl, give them a hand.
But this actually is not what happens every time. We find mothers fighting with their children. Eat this, please, I beg you.
No, it should not go this way. Actually, it's showing love. Actually, sometimes the parents think that the most important thing is making children obey them,
Yeah.
follow the rules.
Yeah.
Okay, you want them to follow the rules. Be sure that they should also feel love from you.
Yeah.
It is not a prison.
Yeah.
Where they follow the rules. The meal should be at 7 o'clock and
for
2
example.
p.m. and
Yeah.
No. And showing love actually is the main thing. This is a very good bond between the parents and the kids.
Yes.
And as I told you, it's very simple. Smile or give them a hand or oh, you are a good girl. Things like encouragement. Yeah. Child need encouragement and need love.
Yes.
Very easy. It's a very big mistake to ask them to follow rules without showing them our love. Okay. There is a lot of kids, when they were young, they do not imagine that their parents love them. Imagine.
How come?
Because parents do not show them love feelings.
Yes.
No. We are doing this, but to be in a frame of love.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If my child doesn't like this type of food, for example, and you are, should I insist on the child to eat this type of food?
Okay.
He doesn't like it.
Okay. Actually, we need to also to know that the appetite of the children has have cycles. It is not always constant.
Yeah.
For example, the appetite is be decreased in between age of 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So this is normal.
Yeah.
The solution is not keep our pressure on them. No, this is normal. They are not always have the same appetite that they have before. And starting from age of 3, it start to go up, to increase. When it's 4.5, about between 4 and 4.5, it's gonna be decrease again, and then it will gonna go up again.
Okay. Maybe this is related to hormonal changes.
Of course, yes. There is genetics. There are hormones, emotions, moods, morals.
Yeah.
They are not machines. They are not. And by the way, sometimes they will reject or to get specific
types of food.
Types of foods.
Yeah.
But later on, they will get it.
Yeah,
They
the
will
same
get it.
type
The
that he
same.
refused before.
Yes, exactly, the same. But actually, when we introduce something for the first time, we should not keep our pressure on them that they should or they must
Yeah.
get this. No, if they
Yeah.
like to have it, fine.
Yeah.
If they don't like to have it now, they might like to try it by their own decision later.
Okay, that's good. That's good. But
Okay.
let us, for example, every parent wants to guarantee that his child is going to have his, for example, lunchbox with his at school, and usually most of the parents try to exert so much good effort to put the things that they know that their child loves. But however, they come back with the lunchboxes full of the same sandwiches or foods they didn't eat.
Okay.
What's the solution in your point of view?
Actually, the paying off is important here.
Yeah.
You need to give them reinforcement to good
Yeah.
behaviors.
Yes.
And you keep up with that
Yeah.
until a specific degree, then you stop it, they will keep up with it
Okay.
because they get used to it.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of things that can be done for the kids. Like I don't.
Okay.
يعني-
Tell us some of these techniques, or
First,
As example.
first of all, you should look at what your kid like to have.
yeah.
They like chocolate, okay, chocolate. They like to go to the club, they go to the club. They like to go to the museum. See what they like to have.
Yeah.
The best thing is give me what I like. Then I will like to do that.
Yes.
And if I did not perform the behavior that you ask me to do,
Yeah.
then I will lose that.
Yeah.
And of course, if I see my brother or my sister get that things and I don't, I will feel jealous.
That happens every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Okay, but however, as you've said, Dr. Adil, every child, for example, wants to eat in the setting of the club between other children playing. Okay, you have to put in mind that I'm a father and I'm not all the time free, available. I'm busy. I want to work. So should I every day go to the club with the child to let him eat, or what's the alternative in this case?
No, actually, the best thing is to make the child eat by himself or by herself.
Yeah.
Especially in case of being out of home. In home, actually, it is recommended.
Yeah.
To all the family to be gathered together.
And if this is not,
Even
if this is not possible, as
one
usual,
meal, even at the weekend,
even at
they
the
should
weekend,
have
yes.
one time where they will be able to get together.
You mean the father and the mother?
Everyone.
Everyone,
Actually. And because the getting the food together reinforce the love bonds between all the family.
All the family.
And actually, when we ask them to do things, we can ask them not to don't do this, which is not recommended. It's better to ask them to do that.
Yeah.
Not don't do this.
Yes, yes.
For example, instead of telling them don't eat fast food.
Okay, for example.
Okay.
Yes.
I would like you to eat vegetables. I would like you to eat fruits.
Yeah.
Or to drink fruit juice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And by the way, we will need also to set rules. I don't like to set rules.
The word rules by itself.
Yeah,
yes,
limits,
I know what you mean.
to set limits and stick to them.
Yeah.
Because when we do not stick to them, they will break the
But let me contradict with you in this.
Okay.
I mean, not. Of course, this is the usual. But sometimes you find children out of the rule. The rule is out of the rule.
Okay.
They do not have any fixed or limited way of behavior.
This is we should expect that to happen.
Yeah.
And we should have the allowances.
Yeah.
Yes, because this is very important. We should not expect children to obey everything from the beginning.
Yes.
No.
This is a very common false. Yes.
Yes. No. It's a process. And gradually
yeah.
they will acquire the behavior.
If you find one of the brothers is obeying and passing on the way straightforward very well, and the other one is not, and usually they say the other one is the more clever. He always says, no, I don't want so and so. The one who is on the track all the time, they like them and they compare. They start to compare. Why don't you do like your sister? She's always right. Is this right?
No, no. Actually, each child is different.
Yeah.
From others, even sisters
and brothers,
the same family, and we this is very important. And telling any kid that look at your sister or look at yourself, how bad comparing to them, why you are not good like them. This is so bad.
So bad.
Yes, we are. We are dealing with a human being that have different moods and hormones and genetics and personality traits.
Even if they are twins.
Yes, even they are twins, exactly. And by the way, the personality traits are different from a child to another child.
Yes.
Each child, we need to determine which key that can lead us to affect his personality smoothly.
So this means that every child has his own key.
Exactly. And no one will know the key better than parents.
Yes.
But the key should not come through the subordination relationship. No. We need to come back to the love relationship. Love relationship. And we should not expect too much from the kid.
Yeah.
No, of course not. And by the way, also we need also to make the food attractive to them, to make a good surroundings.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's also very important to show them a model.
Yeah.
If I'm asking them to drink milk,
for
example, or eat eggs, and in front of them, I do say that I do not eat eggs or I do not drink milk. How come? I am bad modeling to them. Even if I do not drink milk, for example, that should not be said in front of them. Try to make drinking milk as a habit. That start from the beginning when they are young. Let us make a mustache. Oh, look how delicious that is! If you like to get it with a specific fruits.
You mean you let the children have the mustache?
Yes,
milk
they like that. And look at yourself at the mirror.
But maybe this is going to make a mess.
Actually, let me tell you this.
Yes.
It's look what we're gonna get.
Look, I'm believing you.
All right.
Yes.
Actually, the child need to have the right to play.
Yes.
And to make a mess.
Even with food.
Even with food, when we try him a new thing. But it's not that much miss as you imagine, because actually it will make the miss on their face, not on the ground. So on their face, that can be cleaned by water or such. But look at the joy. Look at the habit that you will implant in your child. So when they grow up, they will like milk. Although one of their parents does not drink milk. So this is very important. The model actually. And by the way, there are a lot of stereotypes that should be prevailed, because, for example, if they stay up too late and woke up very late, like by noon time or after that, and they are talking about breakfast. What kind of breakfast you are talking about if it's afternoon? It is don't call it breakfast.
Yes.
Actually. So actually, it's related to a lot of behaviors that are needed to get our kids acquire good nutrition behaviors.
That's marvelous, Dr. Adel. Of course, you are skillful in the field of training and field of counseling and communication skills for, I think, family members and other than family members. But this is going to take me again to another area. Don't deny that most of the families, the most difficult times during the day is the times of feeding children. all over the world, not just, for example, in Egypt or in the Arab countries.
Okay.
All the time you find quarrels and fights between mothers, and sometimes I saw someone who is tying the child and putting the mouse forcibly in his mouth. So how can we train the parents? This is one of the issues, I am interested in, how to train, as you are specialized in the training field, how can we train parents to stop this?
Okay. First, before I forget, forcing feeding is not a habit anymore, even with ducks or animals. Believe me,
Yes.
it is not habit anymore, because this is against, I'm sorry to say that, against animals' rights. Now we are talking about human being and our kids.
Yes.
Actually we should.
But it's the instinct, the mother's instinct.
Yes.
She wants to feed her
Yeah,
child.
this is actually not
All
good.
the time she's
Yes,
anxious.
Yeah, this is not good. First, we need to focus on the quality, not the quantity. If the child start to get a very good, delicious, healthy food, this is enough. It should not be in big quantities.
Yeah.
And also we can look at another option through many meals with small amounts.
Yeah,
At the end, we will reach our objective.
yeah.
But through a way that our child will cooperate with us.
Yes.
Forcing, actually, the word forcing is
Itself is contradicting with the nature of feeding process.
and it should not
Unhuman,
be said
unhuman.
in our era.
Yeah, in our era. Yes,
Yes.
that's right. That's very good. Okay, let us have a break and then come back to continue our speaking about feeding process.
Okay.
Thank you.
You are never alone. You are never alone.
Ask Hoda.
Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to a new edition of Ask Huda.
I have 2 questions.
Please go ahead. You can read it in Arabic and you can also understand the meaning in your own language. The different tafsir and the interpretation of the meanings of the Quran are available in almost every language that exists on earth by the grace of Allah. The water of Zamzam is for whatever intention you drink it with. Salih from Egypt, his father has the way and he asked about how can he help him. Very good question.
Can they give a zakat to any of the dawah centers?
The ibadah or the act of worship is a part of the unity.
You have questions that bother you. What about issues of concern to you? Would you like to share things on your mind with us? Are you interested in solutions based on an Islamic perspective? Please join me live in Meet Your Advisor every Friday at 9 p.m. Mecca time, here on Huda TV.
You are never alone. You are never alone.
Welcome back again to this part of the episode about food and psychology. We are continuing our chatting and talking scientifically and socially at the same time about this important biological part of our life and psychological part. Dr. Adil in his words said that every child has his own key that you can enter through. I want to add to Dr. Adil's point that there is one general key for all children in addition to every specific child's key. That's fun. And remember, the word usually said, play with them for 7 years and raise them another 7 years and then be a friend of them another 7 years. About the first 7 years and the idea of playing and fun. Playing includes storytelling, flashcards, games, singing with the child, dancing with the child, making anything untraditional with the child. And therefore, I all the time say, for the young children in the first 7 years, please try to use what's called the flashcards. And through them you can teach habits, or you can solve psychological problems. For example, in this picture where we can say that our grandpa is ill and he is having to drink the drug, or to drink a hot, for example, cup of tea or mug of tea in order to be to get better health, in order to push the children and to encourage them to take drugs, for example, or to take their treatments. Sometimes you can use this. I don't know if you can show this picture of a child having temper tantrum during eating and how he is shouting. You can use this inside a story and say that this child didn't eat his food and accordingly he got smaller and smaller and smaller, or they didn't like him, or they didn't eat with him, or anything that means that there is something negative in the story. Also, all these are examples. At the beginning, those children who get delayed speech, you can try to use flashcards as those with working professionals in speech therapy about, for example, this is the fork, this is any pan or mug or whatever, to start to make vocabularies for the child in order to be a good speaker. Anyway, let us come back and speak with Dr. Adil Zakazak, the communication and training consultant, about, again, the habits that we want what we want our children to have in order to eat better. And if you have also, Dr. Adil, anything to add to, not just to children, to the teenagers, because nowadays we are having a crisis, or the idea you have said about junk foods and quick meals and fast foods and things like this. But I want to start with you in a word or a piece of information that I know that might be different from yours, which is, I read a book that says, that's called Don't Drink Your Milk. Don't drink your milk. I'll show you this book. The mother, this was the mother. And the introduction of the book, she said that those who are working in politics in the United States use in their campaigns, political campaigns, the cooperation of milk companies in order to, because they are having so many wealthy supplies to these campaigns. Mm-hmm. And therefore this gave milk this great fame. Of course, we know that there's breastfeeding, and we know that milk is very important, but not to that degree, because they find that it causes so many organic diseases if you use them beyond the ages, at least the first 2 years. All the advertisements you see in the TV are giving ideas about milk, teeth, bones, white, and in a way, of course, that is attracting and smashing the TV. However, scientists in this book say that it's not that. For example, iron is astonishingly a poor, for example, source of iron. And maybe it gives some calcium, but it's not that a treasure of calcium. Okay. So please, what's your opinion on this? I know you have agricultural experience, of course.
Yes. Actually, milk is a complete food.
Yeah.
It's just low in iron. This is the only thing.
Yeah.
Just iron.
Yeah.
But for example, if you put some dates
inside
the milk,
so it's going to completely.
It's going to be a complete diet, actually.
But it causes diarrhea. It causes distension.
But everything. You know what? Like drugs, for example.
Okay.
If you can take drugs behind limits, it's not good for you. Anything behind limits, not good for you. But the best source of calcium in all nutrients is milk. Mm-hmm. Regarding protein, the protein of milk is number 2 after the protein of eggs. So actually,
but I cannot depend as an adult after the age of 2 years, at least after a child with 3 years. Don't tell me that milk is going to be a full meal for him.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Yeah. No, we are talking actually about a good habit, because it's not good for the kid to grow up without milk.
Of
but,
course.
But we cannot say just milk.
Yeah,
No, no.
yeah.
Milk plus all other nutrients
Yeah.
that come from different groups
Yeah.
needed for the growth.
Nutritional pyramid, they call
Yes,
it.
yes, absolutely. But if you focus on one thing, the child will say, no, this is enough. I'm getting bored. No. So I do not imagine that someone focus on one specific thing.
Yeah.
But actually, milk is a gift from God.
Of course,
that
of course.
we should
it's
not,
mentioned in the Quran,
yeah.
I think in other
Yes.
sacred
Yes.
books.
Yes.
But don't you believe with me that marketing, I had previously supervised one of the theses I've supervised was about, it was called nutrition education and social awareness to iron supplementation in the preparatory school stage. And role of marketing in this. Okay, I mean, don't you think that marketing and advertisements sometimes deceive people and attract them to non-healthy foods, and this affects the behavior of children?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Really?
This is actually a battle between
Battle.
parents and children, because actually when people promote for products,
Yeah.
it is not necessarily at all to be a healthy product.
To be healthy products.
I do not like to mention any names, but they make it very attractive, and sometimes they encourage them to consume additional amounts of it.
Yeah.
And the children will think that you will got some prizes or rewards.
Yes.
And they go behind that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying here, if we see that people that in charge of promoting non-healthy food doing this, people in charge of marketing healthy foods should compete with them, should make their message attractive,
Yeah.
should make their products attractive to
Because
the children.
Yes, I'm as a father, away from those responsible for healthy foods, I'm as a father, as you have said, and it was a good similarization process to say that it's a battle. What I'm going to do in front of or away from these very attractive and animated dinosaurs who are eating biscuits or chipsies or something like this.
Actually, I have tried by myself to tell my child that what are the bad results if he is going to consume such unhealthy foods on regular time. And when they hear about that, they will start to go back. But I do not like to prevent it entirely. Sometimes your child will come to you and say, I really like to get this at one time, not on regular times. Yes. You should say, okay, go ahead, no problem. But we are talking here about making
but it affects the appetite of the child. He's not going to eat the true meal.
Yeah, I'm talking about like once a month.
Once a month.
Because he see his the other children around him, surrounding him.
At that occasion.
At that, yes. But in a specific occasion, like birthday, for example. And if he need to get soda, I will suppose that I'm saying soda is not good. Okay. For example. I'm not saying a specific trade name. But in this birthday, soda is there, and everyone is getting that. He should share them.
He should share, because this is a social behavior in this case. It's not a matter of what he eats or what he takes.
But when things go based on very limited amounts, I believe that they are safe.
That's definitely right. And let me please add something, Dr. Adil, as regards, you reminded me of something. Sometimes I find mothers fight with, for example, a child who is sleeping all the time. Hey, wake up, you have to eat. She wakes him up, and the child is in need of the other biological need, which is sleep. So she stops his sleeping process, and he takes him, and you have to eat. What are you you are disturbing the whole biological and psychological processes in the body of the child. Now, if someone wakes you up and you want to sleep, and he wants you to, or compels you to eat, you are making something against his will, against his needs.
Okay.
If he needs to eat, he's going to eat. Isn't it true?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Don't you believe me?
Yes, actually, let me tell you this. I do believe that all such these behaviors of mothers with their kids are not going to be successful.
Yeah.
Okay?
The end result.
The end result.
Yeah.
And they will say, I tried many, many times. Okay, you have tried many, many times.
Yes.
And what is the result?
A failure, big failure.
So
Most
you
probably.
should look for other ways.
Yes.
Let us say smart ways. Smart ways. It is. So by the way, if you remember, a lot of mothers used to go to doctors and tell them, "Hey, my child does not like to eat. What can I do?"
Yeah.
What can I do? We have been through a lot of generations where mother will do too many things to play and to make too many things to make an attractive surroundings and a very good environment. Sometimes to borrow other children from the neighbors.
Yes. In
to
order
make
to encourage
and
the atmosphere.
to make
Yes.
him eat.
Okay. Let me, Dr. Adil, by the way, before I have 1 or 1.5 minutes, I think,
Okay.
to finish. There is an email that came speaking about what's the ideal food during examination times, or what's the condition. What do you recommend? This came to the program from the last series, so let me give a part, and please you share in this.
Okay.
I think we have, as we have said before, to recommend foods that do two things: increase focusing and concentration, and make life fun, not depressing. And usually this is found in, of course, protein foods, light proteins, like seafoods, for example. This is very important and very beneficial. And we've been speaking before the program about omega-3 and omega-6 and things like this.
Yes.
Yes. But a way, if you want, especially from childhood up to the end of adolescence, for example, do not give excessive amounts of artificial or coloring materials or sweets, on top of which is chocolate and, as you have said, soda beverages and some things like this, and the junk foods. And of course you have to prepare. I'm insisting, and I think Dr. Adil is with me in insisting about the setting itself. It's not a process of filling someone with food.
Yes, not stacking
What's
the
your
stomach.
point?
Yes.
Do you have to add something in this?
Yes, actually, the omega-3, which is mainly in salmon,
salmon, fish, okay.
Tuna. Yes. Also the nuts.
Nuts, okay. Specific types of nuts?
Most of them,
I've heard
actually,
about
walnuts or chestnuts.
Cashew also.
Yeah,
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These are very important. Actually, chocolate very good for the mood, and we need that.
Yes.
And it's very good for the energy.
Yeah.
So actually, during the examination times, we need to have a good source of foods that provide the body with the energy, mainly the energy needed.
Yes.
And the energy needed, we still can have the energy from the very good source of the milk that I really prefer to to give it, because it provides them
I
also
like milk too. I'm
with
not
protein and energy.
Yes.
And I like also to provide them with yogurt, by the way, in addition to
Dr.
other.
Adil,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. I just want to remind people, our audience, with the email of this program, which is family issues at huda.tv. And I'm proud and grateful to you, Dr. Adil, in this very rich, you have enriched the episode with so many of the very valuable information about feeding and foods. So thank you very much, and we want you with us in other episodes, please, in Family Issues.
Welcome.
You're more than welcome, of course. This is
pleasure.
your program. Thank you very much, our dear audience, watching us all this time about family issue today, which was food and psychology. Wish to see you in another series next week. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Never alone, you are never alone. Through sorrow and through grief, through happiness and peace, you are never alone. So now, as you long for your past, prepare for your future, but knowing nothing's gonna last. You see, this life is but a road, a straight and narrow path to our final abode. So travel well, O Muslim, and paradise will be your home.